Hey everyone, I've spent weeks trying to figure out how to really make this video. I've started recording it more times than I can count. I've written different versions of what I wanted to say, deleted them, changed them, and just gone through the cycle of constantly press and record, deleting, press and record, deleting. Because I truly wanted to find the perfect words to say. Because after 11 years, I honestly didn't know and still don't know how to say goodbye. For over a decade, music has been one of the biggest parts of my life. It's shaped who I am. It's introduced me to some incredible people. It's taken me places I never imagined. And it's given me memories that I will carry with me forever. And today, after a lot of thought and reflection, I've made the decision to step away from music. Even saying that out loud feels so strange. Because if you had asked me years ago where I would be today, I would probably say I'd still be making music well into my 30s, potentially even my 40s. I'd still be chasing the next song, the next album, the next goal, the next milestone, but life changes you. And over the last couple of years, I've had a lot of things happen in my life that have made me learn a lot about myself. I've gone through tough situations that have built me mentally stronger than I ever thought I was capable of being. And I've realized that the things that matter most to me today aren't necessarily the same things that mattered most when I was younger. So before I talk about why I've made this decision, I want to spend some time looking back, because none of this journey was ever supposed to happen. And honestly, there are two people I need to thank before anyone else: Joe and Jordan. Next Gen Productions, for those from early. Because without them, I genuinely don't think I'd be sitting here making this video. I don't think this channel would even exist. I don't think the Lukey D name would even be a thing. 11 years ago, I was songwriting, freestyling. I wasn't trying to build a career. I wasn't trying to become an artist. I wasn't thinking about any of that. I genuinely was just having fun. This whole music thing has always been a hobby. It's always been fun at the end of the day. That's been the core of it. Then one day, I remember the day clearly, Remember it like it was yesterday, actually. I remember Joe and Jordan walking into the living room, and I was writing Guess Who's Back, rapping it out loud, trying to get the flow of things. And they said to me, "Look, let's post this." They pushed me, they encouraged me, and believed in me before anyone else really had a reason to. And at the time, that felt like a really small moment. But looking back at that moment, it truly is one of the biggest moments of my life because it changed the whole course of it. Without that moment, Lukey D would have never existed. These projects would have never existed. That one conversation, that one push, that one bit of encouragement. And suddenly, I found myself beginning a journey that would go on for the next 11 years of my life. Over half, not even over half, sorry, almost half of my entire life. If you can go back and tell that version of me what the next 11 years of his life would look like, I wouldn't have believed you. I probably would have laughed. I probably would have been calling you crazy. I never imagined I would build an audience. I never imagined people would connect with any of my songs. I never imagined any of the opportunities that would come my way over the course of the years. Everything that happened after that moment felt like a bonus, more than I ever expected. So, before anything else, thank you, Joe, and thank you, Jordan, wherever you are. Thank you, Next Gen Productions, because that was truly the epitome of where it all began. I owe more to you than you will ever know. From that moment on, music became everything. It became my passion, my obsession, my purpose. I poured thousands of hours into it, countless late nights, countless early mornings, moments of excitement, moments of frustration, moments where I questioned myself completely. But no matter what happened, I kept going because I loved it. And somehow along that way, people started listening. People started supporting me. People started caring about what I was creating. And what's so crazy is that some of you here today have been here almost the entire journey, almost half my life. There are people watching this right now that discovered about me 10 or 11 years ago, and somehow, after all the stinkers, you're still here. You've watched me grow up. You've seen every version of me, the good ones and the bad ones, the confident ones and the insecure ones. Some of you have been around for such a significant part of my life that you almost feel like family. I will never be able to properly thank you all for that. You've watched me evolve. You've watched me succeed. You've watched me fail. You've watched me make many mistakes. And through all of that, you have somehow still stayed. And I can never fully express how much that means. Whether you've loved me, hated me, criticized me, supported me, argued with me, or simply just watched from a distance, not really caring one way or another. thank you. And from the bottom of my heart, I genuinely mean that. Because every reaction meant something. Every comment, every opinion, every conversation, every criticism, every piece of support, it all played a role in this story. The love gave me confidence. The criticism gave me resilience. The challenges along the way helped me grow. And even the people who didn't connect with what I was doing helped shaped my journey in some way. So thank you to everyone, the supporters, the critics, the people who stayed, even the people who left, and really the people who never cared at all. Thank you all for being part of this chapter of my life. Music didn't change my life. It changed me. It taught me confidence when I had none. It taught me how to keep going when things weren't working. It taught me how to express myself when I didn't know how to put things into words. I leave this chapter a better person than the one who started it. And I will always be grateful for that. As incredible as this journey has been over the last couple of years, I felt something changing. Not in music, but in me. I've started looking at life differently. I've started asking myself different questions. Questions that have nothing to do with numbers, streams, or achievements. Questions about family, questions about responsibility, questions about what kind of life I want to build for myself moving forward. A lot of you may know that for the last couple of years, my mum has been ill. And I don't want to go into too much detail because some things are private and don't need to be shared. But what I will say is watching someone that you love go through difficult health struggles can really change your whole perspective on life. It makes you realize what's important. It makes you realize how precious time really is. And over the last few years, I've come to understand that I need to be in the best position possible for my family. I need to be there for them. I need to be present. And the reality is, if a worst case scenario ever happened, there's a chance that responsibility could fall to me. And the scary part is I don't know if I'll ever be prepared for that. That's not something I can ignore, and that's not something I want to ignore, because family has always come first. My family supported me through every decision I've made in my life. They've stood by me through every uncertainty, every risk, every setback, every achievement. And now I feel it's my turn to be there for them. This decision isn't about running away from music. It's about running towards the people who matter most. It's about making sure I'm in the strongest position possible for whatever life throws at us next. And while that's been one of the hardest things to accept, it's also one of the biggest reasons I know that this is the right decision. The truth is, this has been one of the toughest choices I've ever had to make in my life, without question, because I'm not walking away from something that I hate and fallen out of love with. I'm walking away from something that I truly love at the bottom of my heart, and I still do love. And that's what makes it so difficult. If I didn't care about music, this would be easy. If I didn't care about creating, this would be easy. But I do, and that's why this hurts. And that's why this video has taken so long to make. But life isn't always about holding on to things forever. Sometimes it's about recognizing when a chapter has reached its natural conclusion. And honestly, I think part of that knew after the last album released. When I released that project, something felt different. For the first time in my career, I felt complete. I felt like I had finally said everything I wanted to say. I felt like I'd told my story. I remember sitting with that album after it was released, even during the writing process and the production process. And I was thinking, if this was the last thing that I'd ever put out, I would be more than happy with that. At the time, I didn't really understand why I felt that way. But as I've had time to reflect on it, I understand now. Because looking back at that project, it feels like the perfect ending. It feels like the perfect final chapter. Not because I planned for it to be that, but because it naturally became one. It feels complete. It feels finished. It feels like the end of the story that I started telling 11 years ago. And honestly, I couldn't ask for a better way to leave things. Outside of music, there are also many things I still want to go and do in my life. For so long, everything revolved around being an artist, around being Lukey D. Every decision, every plan, every goal, literally everything in my life was revolved around that. And now, for the first time in over a decade, I feel excited about discovering who I am outside of that. I want to travel the world. I want to see places I've never seen. I want to experience different cultures. I want to meet new people. I want to push myself outside of my comfort zone. There are dreams that I've put on hold for so long because music and this has always been the main priority. And now I finally want to give those dreams a chance. Not because they're more important than this, but because they're equally as important too. And I don't want to spend the rest of my life wondering what could have been. I want to explore. I want to experience life fully. I want to embrace whatever comes next. And for the first time in a long time, I'm excited about that. Terrified, but excited. And of course, that doesn't mean this isn't emotional, because it is. I know some people will probably ask whether this is permanent, whether this is another one of those ones where Luke says he's taking a break and then comes back after a couple of months with a new project. Is this all publicity? And the truth is, I've learned to tell myself never say never in this life, because none of us know what the future holds. But as I sit here today, I genuinely feel at peace with this being the end of my journey as an artist. For the first time, it feels right and it feels complete. There are moments when I think about everything we have built together, and it genuinely overwhelms me. The memories, the friendships, the opportunities, the moments I thought I'd never experience. All of that exists because of you. And that's something I will carry with me forever. I don't know exactly what comes next. For the first time in 11 years, I don't have a release schedule. I don't have an album planned. I don't have a roadmap. I just have life ahead of me. And maybe that's enough. Maybe that's exactly what I need right now. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you Thank you to Joe and Jordan for believing in me before anyone else did. Thank you to my family for supporting me in everything I've done. Thank you to every single person who even listened to a song, shared a video, left a comment, supported me, criticized me, or simply just spent a few minutes of their life paying attention to something I created. Thank you. These 11 years have changed my life, and while this chapter is ending, I'll never look back at it with regret, only gratitude. Because I know I gave it everything I had, and I know that when I look back one day, I won't see something that's unfinished. I will see a complete story. A story that began with two friends hearing me freestyle. A story that became far bigger than I ever imagined. And a story that ends exactly where it's supposed to end. Thank you for 11 unforgettable years. Take care of yourselves. Take care of the people you love. And don't take time for granted. And wherever life takes you next, I hope it brings you all the happiness in the world. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for giving me a chance. And thank you for walking this journey with me. The chapter is over, and for the first time in a long time, I'm excited to see what the next one has in store. Thank you for everything. Out.